The story of the National Bowling Association, TNBA, is yet another piece of the African American epic. It's a story of challenge, a story of courage, a story of vision, a story of determination, and a story of triumph. The backdrop of the early part of TNBA are the social, economic, and political climate of our nation during the first half of the 20th century. This period is marked particularly by the Great Depression and World War II.
Clark, President of the National Bowling Association. The National Bowling Association was established in August 20th, 1939, primarily because the two organizations that existed at the time had clauses in their constitutions that did not allow anyone that was non-Caucasian to be members of their organizations. So we decided to start our own.
The intricate city, or the starting city, was Cleveland, Ohio. The key names would be Winston Brown, Jack Robinson, Oscar McDonald, and J.M. Reed. These gentlemen had a league. They was bowling in a league, and there was only 2 lanes in that league they bowled. They had 4 teams bowling on 2 lanes. They was bowling, and then more people became interested because this is after World War II. So after World War II, the economy shifted in the country to the level where more jobs were available, therefore more people had what we call extra income. So bowling was an attractive activity back then, you know. I mean, you was high class. You were throwing a bowling ball, you was high class, man, you know. In fact, if you go back, you would see people bowling, they wore ties. That's how high class bowling was at that time. They formed this league in Cleveland, and as this league grew, and the interest of bowling grew, and they began to communicate with other cities. And there was 5 cities that was what we call the founding 5, or the starting 5 of TNBA. Of course, Cleveland was the center of it. You had Cleveland, Ohio, Toledo, Cincinnati in Ohio, Detroit, Michigan, and Chicago. Those are the starting 5 cities.
We were originally called the National Negro Bowling Association, and 2 years later, we changed our name to be simply the National Bowling Association. We were all-inclusive at the very beginning, including all men, women of any color, to be participants in our organization.
We had what we call ABC, which is American Bowling Congress. It was an all-Caucasian male bowling organization. And then you had the WIBC, which was the Women International Bowling Congress. It was all Caucasian female. And each one of them had clauses in their constitutions that read, for Caucasians only. And so that meant that you could not participate in any event that was sanctioned by them. They sanctioned all of the events that was going on in the country. So all we had was our own.
We focused on eliminating that clause in both those organizations' constitution, and in 1950 we successfully made that happen.
They had a tournament in, it was Buffalo, New York. The American Bowling League had a tournament going on the same time that the American Bowling Congress had theirs. It always have a convention in the same city that its tournament is, but it's not at the same time. TNBA was part of that argument, a part of that challenge to the American Bowling Congress to remove that clause. And there was lawsuits filed. Several cities were filing lawsuits. And in 1950, at Buffalo, New York, the American Bowling Congress removed the Caucasian-only clause from their constitution. Same year, the WIBC did the same thing.
When the Constitution for both ABC and WIBC eliminated the non-Caucasian clause in their constitutions, we had the very first all-African-American team participate, and that was in Indianapolis, Indiana in 1950. We blossomed from the original 5 senates to over 115, nearly 120 affiliates or senates around the country.
You know that bowling is a whole lot of fun, a real good exercise for everyone, a game that's good for the whole family, just a little thing between you and me. It ain't so
Bowling is the #1 participation sport in the United States of America. And it's a sport that you could participate in from the time you're tot to the time you are over 100 years old. We have participants over 100 years old. The bowling season itself is typically broken into 2 different seasons. The winter season is typically from August to May of each year, and the summer season will be typically from late May or June until the end of August.
So as we get ready in September, rolling out of our tournament, I want to take you on a little journey. And that journey is a tournament journey. Your first stop that you'll get to will be your regional tournaments. They happen in all of the 4 regions, the southern, the eastern, the west, and the central. And there you're going to have people coming from all of the different areas within that particular region. They're meeting, they're greeting, they're dancing, and they're having a lot of fun. It is like a down-home tournament. And then when we pack up our bags and we ease on down the road to the granddaddy of them all, it is the Reed Hawthorne tournament. So at that tournament, you come a little classier because we have stepped our game up a little bit. That's where you meet and greet the best of the best from all the 4 corners of this United States, where they come and converge in Cleveland, Ohio. They're bringing the best of the best, and they're putting it out there on the lane. So you're not going to hear a lot of hooping and hollering. You're not going to see a lot of hand slapping, because these brothers and sisters mean business. From the seniors to the super seniors, they mean business. They're coming to get on the lanes and get their roll on. So as we pack up our bags again, I want you to see that we're going into our Rodman tournament. It is a breakout from what you saw at our Reed Hawthorne tournament. Each region holds its own little, as you call it, marathon of bowling. You're going to see those same ladies and gentlemen lacing them up and getting on the lane. Then you pack your bags up again and you end up at the grand finale. Someone says, what is the grand finale? That is the be-all to the get-all. That's where the family reunions take place. That's where we love, embrace, and have a good time. It's called our National Championship Tournament. Everyone coming from everywhere as far as Bermuda. We're coming in and we're having a great time. We're rekindling friendships. We're embracing one another. We're making new friendships. And that's where you'll see all of the fanfare, all of the different things that our organization has to offer that's different from any other bowling tournament that you'll go to.
We've established ourselves as having tournaments that are second to none. You just simply need to be a member of our organization to be able to participate in it. We have an awards program for those that reach and have accomplishments that are noteworthy. We like to showcase and present them with awards for shooting a perfect game and shooting high series.
The prizes can range, so someone can win upwards to maybe like $5,000. But as we ease on into our classic tournament, where the stakes are higher, we've seen people walk out of there with $20,000 to $25,000. I've seen someone at our national tournament, just in brackets alone, they had a big payday of $30,000, and we hadn't even paid the tournament out yet. So not only are you bowling, you're bowling for dollars, you're bowling for the fun of it, you're bowling for the love of it, but you don't have to leave empty-handed.
The National Bowling Association has a youth bowling program specifically. We have, just like for our adults, we also have our youth regional tournaments. And the youth regional tournaments are broken down to age brackets, et cetera. And we have, as part of our regional tournaments that the winner of our Class 1, which is the higher, older ranking division, the winner of the Class 1 for each one of our 4 regions gets an all-expense paid trip to represent their region at our national championship roll-off during TNBA week. Bowling is one of the unique sports that allows youth members to actually earn scholarship monies from the time they're taught to the time they graduate out of high school. We also, as part of my program, have been involved in creating a way for the youth to come in and actively be involved with the organization at the leadership levels or decision-making levels. So we now have, as of this year, the ability for a youth member to come in place of an adult member for the Senate's delegates.
Being with TNBA gives you that opportunity to develop long-lasting relationships. TNBA becomes your second family. It's the purpose of TNBA. We all come together to educate our younger members, the generation, to take that interest in TNBA. TNBA affords so much for us to have the privilege of bowling at the best bowling centers, staying at the 5 Stars Hotel, where we were not able to do that many years ago.
I love TNBA. It would have happened whether or not I was a national director of tournament and just a member. I love this organization because it stands for much more than just bowling. It is friendship, it's fellowship, it's sportsmanship. It digs the trenches of having a family reunion on a much larger scale where we meet, we greet, and we embrace one another year in, year out.
One of the things as part of my mission as the president of the organization is to brand our organization, to get it out there and get the word out there and the benefits of what we offer as an organization for participating in our tournaments. So one of the things that we do to help expose our tournaments and our members and people to what we offer is we've started live streaming many of our very popular events. All of our singles classic tournaments this year were live streamed. And so that the participants, as well as their fans and their relatives and things like that, can get out there and see them in action live while they're participating in the tournament.
As a field representative, a goal of mine has always been hashtag, are you a new member yet? That effort has been to go out across the country and to tap into areas that have no knowing of what the National Bowling Association is.
If you want to be a part of TNBA, join your local affiliate, or Senate as we call them. Once you become a part of your Senate, you can help your Senate develop, grow, work with them, main in the junior program. That is where our youth is developed. That is where we find our next leaders for tomorrow. Without our youth, we would not have no TNBA tomorrow. So start working in your Senates. Join your Senates. We have 119 affiliates across the country, including Bermuda. So if you want to go move in Bermuda, guess what? We have a Senate there for you.
We have members that simply seek the role, I just want to get in and be along. And that's not what TNBA is all about. We encourage everyone, obviously through friendship, sportsmanship, and fellowship, but the ability to have insight on what they believe is a potential growth in a vision or a mission that they might have. And that's where the millennium, the young adult, is so imperative, I feel, because their diversity in ideas, their visions, are really what's truly going to catapult TNBA to the future.
But guess what? We're here to listen to you. We want to hear what you got to say about TNBA, because we want you to be a part of TNBA. You are the voice of TNBA. We can only listen and learn and grow and try to apply anything or suggestions that may be feasible for TNBA's growth. So if you want an adventure in your life, come and join TNBA. You will find your sister, your brother, your mother, your aunt, your grandmother, all in TNBA. And if you don't have a family, guess what? You just became part of a great one, because TNBA is here today, tomorrow, and hopefully forever if you decide to become the adventure with TNBA.
Where can you go to and see a gospel fest? And then from there to set the tone for our convention. And then from there you got golf tournaments. You can go shopping. You got a king and queen coronation. Where? What type of organization offers all those things to their bowlers? Nobody but the TNBA.